The condo was supposed to be California's foot in the door. Not the dream home, not the white picket fence, just a realistic way for regular people to own something. But that foothold is crumbling, and it's not for the reason most people think. Yes, prices are falling. But here's the strange part, buyers still aren't showing up. Nationally, condo prices have dropped for 27 months in a row. In Southern California, we just saw the biggest annual price drop in 14 years. The median fell from $699,000 to $656,000 in a single year. That's $43,000 gone before you've paid a single HOA bill or made your first mortgage payment. So why aren't buyers jumping on the deals? Because the math doesn't add up. HOA fees are up 30%. Insurance premiums have jumped 30 to 50%. Surprise assessments worth tens of thousands of dollars are hitting owners out of nowhere. The value of the asset is going down while the cost of holding it keeps going up, at the same time. In some California cities, condos are down 31% from their peak. One market hasn't seen prices this low since 2015. We're counting down all 10, starting with the worst of them. Number 10, San Mateo County. San Mateo County never needed one famous city to justify its price tag. Redwood City, Menlo Park, Daly City, San Carlos, the proximity to Silicon Valley's campuses was enough. This was where people landed when San Francisco was out of their budget, but being near a tech campus still mattered. Then remote work rewrote that equation. Condo prices in the county have fallen for 3 straight years. From $887,000 in March 2024, to $855,000 in March 2025, to $825,000 in March 2026. That's a $62,000 loss for buyers who got in near the top, and a total decline of 15% from the June 2022 peak. Still falling 5.6% year over year. Here's what makes San Mateo County the most revealing ending to this list: the AI boom is actively pushing single-family home prices up. The county median hit $2.18 million in March 2026, up 6% year over year. NVIDIA employees reportedly accounted for 1 in 3 home sales in parts of Redwood City last year. That same wealth is not flowing into condos in any meaningful way. The money is here. It's just choosing something else. Making things worse, HOA reserves across many county buildings have fallen below lender funding guidelines, making loans harder to secure. San Mateo County didn't lose its location. It lost the reason the location mattered. And the buyers who could afford to overlook that are spending their money elsewhere. From Oakland's 31% collapse to San Mateo County's slow fade, every market on this list is telling you the same thing: the condo stopped making sense as a product. Falling values, rising HOA fees, spiking insurance, surprise assessments, and tightening financing. Buyers looked at all of that together and said no. Historically, condos are the first property type to fall in a downturn. They're also usually the first to signal what's coming for the broader market. That signal is flashing right now. Which city are you watching most closely? Drop it in the comments, and subscribe. Number 9, Costa Mesa. For buyers priced out of Newport Beach and Irvine, Costa Mesa was the sensible compromise: same Orange County sunshine, same coastal access, a price tag that didn't force you to choose between a home and having a life. Then affordability disappeared. According to Redfin, Costa Mesa home prices dropped 8.1% year over year as of March 2026, with the median sitting at $1.4 million. Sales volume fell 20.7% in a single year. Only 46 homes sold in March, down from 58 the year before. An 8.1% drop on a $1.4 million median means the typical seller absorbed about $113,000 in losses. In a city people moved to specifically because it felt within reach, that's a hard blow. The broader Orange County market tells the same story: just 7,280 condo sales over the past year, the 8th lowest on record and 26% below the 22-year average. This isn't one neighborhood having a rough patch, it's countywide. People are leaving. Residents are relocating to San Diego, Las Vegas, Bakersfield, and Phoenix in numbers that far outpace anyone moving in. This isn't buyers choosing houses over condos. It's buyers choosing to leave entirely. When the compromise stops feeling like a win, people stop compromising. Number 8. Fremont. Fremont was Silicon Valley's manufacturing backbone, home to Tesla's original production plant, a city that bridged engineering talent with East Bay affordability. Close enough to the tech corridor to matter, affordable enough to attract the people who actually built things. The numbers stopped making sense. Condo prices have dropped 12% from their May 2022 peak, falling 6.7% year-over-year, pushing values back to mid-2018 levels. A decade of gains, gone in 3 years. A condo bought at $750,000 has lost around $90,000. But the percentage decline barely captures the real burden. The Hayward Fault runs directly through the city. While California doesn't legally require earthquake insurance, most lenders and condo associations in Fremont effectively require it in practice, leaving buyers with little choice. That insurance alone accounts for more than half of total HOA fees. One former HOA board member confirmed that fees went from $325 a month in 2009 to around $600 by 2019, and estimates now put them closer to $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 in HOA dues every year, before property taxes, before the mortgage, before anything else. In Fremont, geology shapes economics. You can't negotiate with a fault line. Number 7. Los Angeles. Los Angeles has always absorbed shocks that would break smaller markets. It's too big, too diverse, too economically complex to stay down for long. That resilience was always baked into the price. Then the math stopped working here too. LA condo prices have dropped 7% from their 2022 peak, with the median falling nearly 5% in February alone compared to the year before. A condo bought at $700,000 has lost around $49,000, and the trend is still worsening. Condo sales in Los Angeles County just hit a 20-year low. Fewer than 2,000 units sold across January and February combined, the worst start to any year since 2005. 10 consecutive months of year-over-year price declines. Inventory up 17.7%. Sellers are cutting $20,000 to $50,000 off their asking prices just to spark any interest. There's an angle here that doesn't get enough attention. California's regulations, rising construction costs, and a 10-year liability window for HOA boards have pushed developers away from building condos altogether. They're building rental apartments instead. So future supply is tightening, even while today's inventory sits unsold. When the second largest city in the country records a 20-year sales low, this isn't a cycle anymore. It's a structural shift. Number 6. San Jose. If there was one city where tech money was supposed to act as a force field around real estate, it was San Jose. Six-figure salaries are common here. Silicon Valley wealth is structural. Buying a condo in San Jose felt about as safe as real estate investments get. Turns out it wasn't enough. Prices have dropped 7% from their 2022 peak, falling another 6% just in the past year. A condo bought at $800,000 has lost around $56,000 in value. In a market people specifically chose because it felt bulletproof. The sales numbers make it starker. San Jose condo sales dropped 13% year-over-year as of March 2026. Pending sales fell 12.6%. Days on market jumped more than 52%, condos are sitting significantly longer than they were just a year ago. Here's the number that explains everything: the price-to-income ratio in San Jose sits at 11.6. The median condo costs more than 11 times what the median household earns annually. That's not just unaffordable, for most families, it's mathematically out of reach, full stop. Number 5. San Diego. San Diego had every reason to be immune to this. Military economy. Booming biotech sector. Year-round sunshine. It tops livability rankings year after year. If any market was going to shrug off a condo correction, you'd expect it to be this one. It wasn't. San Diego condo prices have dropped 7% from their peak, but here's what makes this one different from most cities on the list: San Diego's peak came in 2023, not 2022. That means this decline is more recent, still picking up speed, and harder to call a bottom on. Over the past year, condo sales sit 27% below their 22-year average. Monthly payments have dropped 14% from peak. And buyers still aren't coming. Lower prices, lower payments, lowest sales in decades, all moving in the wrong direction at once. Buyers aren't leaving San Diego. They're leaving condos. Investors who bought coastal units for short-term rental income are discovering that occupancy was never guaranteed, and regulations keep getting tighter. San Diego sold the lifestyle. The market stopped buying it. Number 4. Stockton. Stockton was never glamorous, but it was supposed to be practical, the place where California's housing math still worked for teachers, nurses, and service workers. The city where the numbers finally made sense. They don't anymore. Condo prices have dropped 11% from their 2022 peak and are down 6.4% year over year. A condo bought at $400,000 has lost roughly $44,000 in value. In a city where most households were already stretched thin, that stings. But the percentage drop doesn't tell the whole story. Here's the number that does: 25.4% of all homes listed for sale in Stockton have had price cuts, the highest rate in the entire state of California. 1 in 4 sellers is cutting their price just to get someone to look. While national home prices rose 1.1% over the past year, Stockton fell 4.8%. The rest of the country moved in one direction. Stockton moved the other. When the most desperate sellers in California are all concentrated in one place, finding a floor gets very hard. Number 3. Sacramento. Sacramento was supposed to be the escape hatch. When Bay Area prices got impossible, Sacramento was where financial advisors pointed people: stable government jobs, lower prices, room to breathe. For a while, that story held up. Then Sacramento ran into the same problems buyers were trying to leave behind. Condo prices have dropped 12% from their June 2022 peak and are still falling 4.8% year over year. Interestingly, detached home prices in the same city look relatively flat. Same city, totally different trajectory. A local appraiser spelled out exactly why buyers are walking away: a $350,000 Sacramento condo with a $600 monthly HOA fee carries the same monthly payment as a $450,000 house with no HOA. When buyers do that math, they choose the house, every time. HOA fees in some complexes have more than doubled, jumping from $175 to $375 a month. Several condo projects have also lost FHA and VA financing eligibility because too many units are investor-owned, which shrinks the buyer pool even further. Sacramento didn't just stop being the answer. It started looking a lot like the problem. Number 2. San Francisco's. San Francisco was the one market everyone assumed was untouchable. The city that invented the real estate premium. Surely demand here was too deep, too permanent to ever really crack. Then the data showed up. San Francisco condo prices have dropped 12% from their May 2022 peak, pushing values back to mid-2015 levels. Someone who paid $1 million at the peak has lost around $120,000 on paper. Here's where it gets complicated, though. Between 2024 and 2025, only 8 Bay Area zip codes actually saw condo values rise, and every single one was in San Francisco. No Valley and the Marina posted gains of around 4%. But don't be fooled by that headline. Those gains came after nearly 5 straight years of declines. One good year doesn't erase half a decade of losses. Even No Valley's typical condo sits roughly $400,000 below its 2019 value when you adjust for inflation. On top of that, HOA dues in San Francisco are creeping toward $1,000 a month. And lenders are now scrutinizing condo association finances before approving loans. Where they find problems, conventional financing disappears entirely. San Francisco isn't really recovering. It's splitting into two different markets, a small cluster of desirable neighborhoods holding their own, and everywhere else still struggling. Number 1. Oakland. Oakland was the Bay Area's workaround. If San Francisco was out of reach, Oakland made sense: similar water views, similar commute, and a much lower price tag. For a decade, that logic actually held. Buyers came, prices climbed, and Oakland became the smart play. Then it became the cautionary tale. According to Zillow and Wolf Street data, Oakland condo prices have fallen 31% from their May 2022 peak, the steepest drop of any major California market. They're still sliding, down 13.1% year over year. Adjusted for inflation, values have dropped nearly 30% since 2019. That's not a market correction. That's a decade of gains quietly wiped out. In real dollars, a condo bought at the $600,000 peak is now worth around $414,000. That's $186,000 in lost equity, gone before a single HOA payment or maintenance call. Downtown condos are sitting on the market for over 90 days. Not weeks. Months. Wealthier neighborhoods like Rockridge are holding up relatively well, but the condo-heavy downtown areas are absorbing the full force of the decline. Remote work built Oakland's boom. Return to office ended it.